It's time for UFC Abu Dhabi going down tomorrow morning. Remember to wake your ass up. And you might be like, Mike, the weigh-ins were at the crack ass of dawn. How come I'm not seeing you until Friday night? Well, first of all, I wrote a song this morning. No, you're not going to be able to hear it. Don't worry about it. All right. It's not going to be good. Okay. We're just going to pretend. I'm just going to leave that separate. All right. I am working on MMA University, which will be out in August, which will be fucking awesome. That's coming. That I do want you to check out. The music, you know, that's for me. But the fist fights, that's for us right now. It's UFC Fight Night Abu Dhabi. Robert Whittaker taking on Reinier de Ridder in a good one. Two good guys. I don't want to see either of these guys lose, but we're going to have to. Let's break the card down. This is the full card predictions. I'll go from the bottom all the way up to the top, giving you a real quick breakdown and a look at each fight. All right. Let's go, Scott Bewley. Let's go, Wood. What up? All right. First of all, we got the UFC debut of Marcus Buchecha Almeida, and he's fighting Martin Buday. Martin Buday, I bet some of these cappers, I bet all these cappers don't even know it's Marcus Buchecha Almeida. Do they? Because I've been a Buchecha fan, okay? I've seen him compete in jiu-jitsu for a long time. This is not another jiu-jitsu guy, right? This is the world champion of, 7 years ago. Who took time to transition to MMA. I saw Buchecha over at King's MMA training. It must have been 4 years ago now, at least 3 years ago. Let's say 3 years ago to be safe. So, this ain't that new to him. He's been meaning to transition, and I've seen him training over there with Fabricio Verdum, Martin Vittori, getting some good looks over at King's MMA in Huntington Beach, where I live. Marcus Buchecha Almeida is incredible on the ground, but that's just one aspect of mixed martial arts. Martin Buday, some of you may not know this, has never been taken down in the UFC. 0 takedowns achieved against Martin Buday in the UFC. You think that's a problem? How about the fact that Martin Buday weighed in at the heavyweight limit of 266 pounds and looked as good or better than he's ever looked on the scale? Is that a problem? How about the fact that it appears to me anyway, I can't say fact, he has better striking. I mean, on paper, let's say that. He has better striking than Buchecha, and Buchecha's not a wrestler. It'd be different if Nicky Rodriguez from B Team, or whatever they call themselves now, was transitioning over into mixed martial arts. Because he could take people down. But Buchecha, coming in against Buday, I don't think this is like the easiest matchup for him, right? If it was Buchecha versus Tabatha, now we're talking. But I'm going to go with Martin Buday. I think Martin Buday wins a decision here, live for knockout as well. Problem with knocking out these jiu-jitsu guys is when you drop them, like, what are you going to do? Climb in between the legs of Marcus Buchecha Almeida? No homo? It's probably not the move. He's probably going to be like, hey, stand up. And in that time, the Tweety birds, start to go away and you get back up and you're able to get into the fight a little bit. I'll say decision, massive dog, right? I don't know, 3-1. I mean, he's a big dog. So that's what I'm seeing. Rooting Buchecha. Mohammad Yahya versus Stephen Nguyen. I'm going to go Stephen Nguyen. I think, the war he was in against Jarno Aarons, it didn't look too bad. Jarno Aarons is okay. These are gatekeeper level guys. And Mohammad Yahya has been a little disappointing. Okay. I am not impressed by your performance. Is Mohammad Yahya Palestinian? What is that flag? UAE. Interesting. Yeah, Muhammad Yahya. Kai Fernandez smoked him, called it. And then Trevor Peek. I mean, you're losing decisions to Trevor Peek, not exactly high up in the division. I think Muhammad Yahya loses a decision to a Stephen Nguyen. Ibo Aslan versus Billy Elekana. How am I supposed to back Ibo Aslan after showing just a negative jiu-jitsu IQ against Ian Cutelaba? You can't be getting head and arm choked by Ian Cutelaba. That's not good. So I feel like Billy Elekana just being competent enough, just having a little bit. I mean, he's like won by submission like one time in his career, but just even being competent on the ground is a big advantage. Like when you see a hole like that in somebody's game, you're like, I think I can make that work, right? You got that in the back of your head, even when the going's getting tough on the feet. Ibo Aslan can separate anyone from consciousness, but due to the Swiss cheese holes in his game, I'm going to go Billy Elekana. Amanda Ribas and Tabatha Ricci. It's about to be a girl fight, yeah. I think this is good. This is good. Amanda Ribas, very fucking tough, right? Decent Muay Thai, good jiu-jitsu, good cardio. Tabatha Ricci looking jacked, right? I mean, Tabatha Ricci looking next level shape, all right? Walsh is, he's got a race car there. Tabatha Ricci is in incredible physical condition. Those abs are washboard. And I think they're going to be in a good fight. I think these two ladies are, I've heard some rumors about Tabatha Ricci, but I don't know, man. This is going to be close. Slightly in Amanda Ribas, but Tabatha Ricci could easily win the decision. I'm kind of talking myself into Tabatha Ricci decision. I mean, I don't think she wins the distance striking, although her hands are probably getting better. In the clinch, she wins fights. She's able to push these girls into the fence. She could grind. She's got good cardio. She has takedowns. They're not the best takedowns, but she's working towards them. When you defend, she's on the fence. She's working you. This thing could be down to the wire because Amanda Ribas can do damage, but accepts damage, right? Like girls have been able to beat up on Amanda Ribas. Tabatha Ricci, not the most lethal offense, but probably getting better. Fuck, man. This is a tough call for me. Do I pick flip? I don't even know who the favorite is or none of that stuff. Yeah, I'm going to go Tabatha Ricci. DaMon Blackshear versus Davey Grant. Davey Grant looking in good shape. DaMon Blackshear denying the handshake. How dare you, sir? That wasn't nice. Kind of rooting against him now. But Davey Grant's 100 years old. I think it's a problem. I think that Davey Grant has nice hands. He's a little taller. He's got a little power. But everything else is on DaMon Blackshear's side. DaMon Blackshear is better on the ground. I think he'll be able to kickbox with him too. Like, I don't think he's out of sorts there. I'm going to go with DaMon Blackshear, potentially mixing in some grappling, making this an MMA fight, and potentially sub. Muslim Salikhov versus Carlos Leal. Carlos Leal hits like a Mack truck, and Muslim Salikhov's chin is suspect to investigation. And I think Carlos Leal is going to walk him down, man. He puts this just quiet pressure on you. He just keeps you in that constant state of anxiety. You're walking back, and man, this guy's going to unload at some point, and then boom, boom, he lets those hands go and bodies fall. And I think that Muslim Salikhov is going to fall, man. Carlos Leal via knockout. Bryce Mitchell, Thug Nasty, dropping a weight class to take on the great and powerful Said Nurmagomedov. Now, Said Nurmagomedov, not the most incredible wrestler, right, of the dogs, but a great striker. Solid submission artist. Gets up really well when he's taken down and has some takedown. He'll defend most takedowns, right? It was 60-something% was his takedown defense rate, which, yeah, it gives me pause, right? But then you watch some of his fights back. Vinicius Oliveira threatens on the feet so much. Like, the problem with fighting a Vinicius Oliveira is he can put you out at any moment. He's throwing shit from grandma's house. So when you're working with a Vinicius Oliveira, you have to deal with the striking so much that that's what your mind's on, and then opens up takedowns. Against Bryce Mitchell, I don't think he's concerned, man. I don't think he's concerned about the striking of Bryce Mitchell. Who is? Bryce Mitchell couldn't bust a grape, as Rampage once said about Forrest Griffin. Shout out to the OGs who catch that Ultimate Fighter reference. I think Said Nurmagomedov submits Bryce Mitchell, potentially decision, right? Potentially could put him away. I mean, you know, how's Bryce's chin doing? He's coming a weight class down. You know, he got smacked up bad by Gene Silva. I know he got submitted. You know, he got knocked the fuck out by Ilia Topuria, knocked the fuck out by that short gremlin motherfucker from Alpha Male. Josh Emmett. Sorry, Josh Emmett. That was fucked up. You know, am I a Bryce Mitchell hater? I don't mean to be, folks. The earth is not flat, but I'm not judging him based off of that, right? I'm judging him on his lack of threatening striking, okay? And I'm judging him because he's fighting Said Nurmagomedov, who's a really skilled striker with real nice chokes. Like Said Nurmagomedov's guillotines, when people are trying to take him down, are high level. So Bryce is going to potentially get that ninja choke slapped on him. I'm going to go Said Nurmagomedov here. Dog. Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Guskov. Dog. Bogdan Guskov. Bogdan Guskov's on a fucking roll. Bogdan Guskov's active. He's active, right? Nikita Krylov's not been active. One fight in how long? And it was a bad performance where he couldn't find his timing and he couldn't put anything big on Dominic Reyes. I think Bogdan Guskov here, you know, he's been getting his work in the UFC. I do think that, you know, he has capabilities to take this fight to the ground, to strike with Nikita Krylov, who should have an advantage on the feet, but we'll see if the Ukrainian has any timing or speed, or, you know, is showing us that he wants to get back to towards the top of the division. I got Bogdan Guskov in a decision there. Asu Almabayev versus Jose Ochoa. I see you, Jose Ochoa fans. I see you out there. I see you. He's good. He's entertaining. He's tall. He's taller than Asu Almabayev. But Asu Almabayev is better at wrestling, on a full camp, you know, good. I mean, Manel Kopp beating you, like Manel Kopp's very fucking high level. Manel Kopp, you know, is title challenger, you know, champion experience type level, you know. A lot of that's outside of the UFC, overseas. You know, Ochoa's, I don't think that level, man. I think Almabayev is going to be able to take him down, get to his spots, tire him out a little bit. End of that second round, third round, start putting it on him, maybe get him out of there with a submission. We'll say decision, right? Ochoa's competent, and Ochoa's a good striker. And Ochoa, you know, just beat Cody Durden, but it's Cody Durden, bro. I got Asu Almabayev. Shara Bullet versus Marc-Andre Barriault. I'm going with the one-eyed pirate. I think Shara Bullet gets this thing done. Marc-Andre Barriault is a tough customer. Looks in shape as usual. Gonna push a pace as usual. That was hard. It's a fucking tongue twister. Push a pace. All right, maybe it's not that bad. Marc-Andre Barriault, cardio and output are concerning here, but I think the output gets him in trouble. I like the kicking game of Shara Bullet. I think he could bounce back. You know, MVP is a strange puzzle to solve. This is the opposite. Like Marc-Andre Barriault doesn't do anything that's super special. It's his fucking heart, right? I'm going to go Shara Bullet being the better striker here, being more in his prime here, being more durable. Petr Yan versus Marcus McGhee. I see a lot of motherfuckers on Marcus McGhee, all right? Marcus McGhee fought who? Fought who? And he's older. It's the 34-year-old prospect, as my cousin Tyson said, versus the 31-year-old veteran in Petr Yan. Hope I have those ages right. Marcus McGhee's good. Solid performance against Jonathan Martinez. He's going to provide a challenge for Petr Yan, but I think he's going to get kicked up, man. You saw those kicks start working against him. Petr Yan's got great leg kick ability. His hands are better. I think he'll be able to wrestle with Marcus. I don't really see, where Marcus is going to be able to lead this dance. I think Petr Yan is going to hurt him here. Petr Yan, a little bit more of a 5-round style, very patient. It would nice to see him get on the front foot. But, Marcus McGhee coming all the way over there overseas. Russia's not quite as far. I think Petr Yan is going to be a fucking problem, man. I trust the championship ability of a Petr Yan. Coming off of the Davis and Figueiredo win, Figgy's high level, Yadong Song, he's fighting these kids. I don't think Marcus McGhee is going to surprise him with anything. Give me Petr Yan decision. And then in the main event of the evening, Robert the Reaper Whittaker takes on a blazing, super on fire Reinier de Ridder. Reinier de Ridder's ground game is fantastic. And what's good about Reinier de Ridder is it's not like Buchecha's where it's an island. He actually has a pathway to get people there. His striking's fucking getting vicious too. His striking looks good. If you just watch like the Gerald Meerschaert fight, you're like, striking ain't dangerous, man. I'd put him in the Bryce Mitchell category. Then you watch, his progression. Look at him against Bo Nickel. I mean, obviously the Bo Nickel fight, the knees to the body, right? The pressure. Reinier de Ridder's massive. You saw that stare down between Robert Whittaker and Reinier de Ridder. Here's the number one most overlooked thing about Robert Whittaker versus Reinier de Ridder. You ready? Robert Whittaker is a former welterweight taking on a former light heavyweight in Reinier de Ridder. Former welterweight versus former light heavyweight. How many limbs would Reinier de Ridder need to cut off to make welterweight? Both arms? You know what I'm saying? Would that be enough? Do we need to go legs? He's a lot bigger than Rob Whittaker. And I think when he gets a hold of him, he's going to be able to drag him onto the ground here. I'm surprised that the odds are favoring Rob Whittaker. I guess I get it because the championship experience and the striking, but guys, we've seen Rob Whittaker get, absorbed by Khamzat Chimaev. This is a more well-rounded grappler. Should be a more dangerous grappler. Khamzat, very strong, but also, and again, a 170. I'm very impressed by the jiu-jitsu of a Reinier de Ridder. If you guys look at him, grapple against Rotolo. Which Rotolo brother was it? I'm trying to remember. Was it Cade? Awesome match. Both Rotolo brothers are fucking fantastic. Ty or Cade, but awesome match. And, his jiu-jitsu is that 20-25. He hits you with the reverse triangle. He's got leg locks, like very high level shit. Rob Whittaker ain't ready for that. He matches Rob Whittaker on the feet a lot more than Rob Whittaker matches him on the ground. And, Rob Whittaker with power is interesting, but if you watch that fight back with him and the big Dagestani, it's going to hit me. You're yelling it at home. Rob Whittaker versus you see the front kicks coming up the middle of Ikram Aliskerov. You see the, Ikram Aliskerov. Can I get a break? You see the front kicks coming up the middle from Ikram, who's a solid wrestler, who's got, a little bit of power. And he does it again and again. It was like Rob Whittaker just easily timed it and was able to explode in. You don't see Reinier de Ridder striking, forgive me, Ikram, dumb like that, right? He is more dynamic, has more weapons, comes crashing in, and you're worried about the wrestling too. The blend is really nice. Ikram just staying way too patient, a little nervous in there. It was a big jump up in competition for him. Rainier's already fought at the championship level outside of the UFC, already beaten a Bo Nickel. So I think he's seeing Robert Whittaker as more food. I'm going Reinier de Ridder getting this fight finished somehow. Folks, those are my full card predictions for UFC Fight Night Abu Dhabi. Remember, it's in Abu Dhabi. Remember, it's turned on in the morning. All right? I'm going to try to wake my ass up and watch them live. If I don't watch them all live, don't fucking, none of my friends text me, okay? Sometimes my cousin will fucking text me. I'm like, dude, I'm watching them when I get home. Quit fucking it up. You know, and I'll do my recap show either Saturday or Sunday. All right. What say you, chat? Finchman, give us a 15-second shadow box for the culture. Mr. Cass wants a shadow box. Here we go. Ready? A little bit of head movement, right? I can show you a roll today. How about that? So you could either call it a weave, like you weave a basket, right? Or you roll out. So when I teach a roll, I generally do it off of a 2, like a 1, 2 roll, right? So bop, bop, boom. I move right away. In boxing, I don't want to wait for a response. This ain't a fucking conversation, right? Hit him with the right hand and then roll out immediately. Don't wait for a response. As Teddy Atlas would say, don't take pictures. Don't take pictures. Fucking roll out. All right? That's all you get. Oh my God, chat. What up? Everybody's up on a Friday night, huh? Guys want to hang out with me on Friday? Cool. Let's do it. How can you bet Buday, though? He's trash. How can you bet Buday? Because Buday is UFC level, right? He's on a little streak right now. Who did Buday just beat? Buday's on a little streak right now. You know, he's fought Andre Arlovsky. He's fought, Uran Satibaldiev. That's right. Shamil Gaziev, Josh Parisian, you know, beat, you know, Jake Collier, Lucas Brzeski, Chris Barnett, Lorenzo Hood, who's a decently dangerous heavyweight in the striking department from Illinois. Shout out to the hometown crowd. Lorenzo used to fight in that scene, by the way. I'm commentating XFO in a couple weeks over in Island Lake at Side Outs. Come say what's up to me. I will be back on the mic with Matt Locasio. We've got an awesome card at XFO Outdoor War. If you live in the Midwest, come see me at Island Lake August 9th for XFO Outdoor War, the return of the best promotion in the regional scene. I'll see you there. He went to Dagestan, 2 years and forget. Sorry, guys. I'm going to be skipping some of y'all. Ricci by decision. KZ, I'm saying, bro. Wifey's in the other room, but I'm saying. Ricci is. Ricci always looks jacked, but her stand-up is trash. That's an issue. You know, she's dating a one of the best boxers in the world. Is that going to help? Her pressure is good though. Her cardio is good. She closes distance well. Like you don't, you know, striking is one aspect, sure, but there are other ways to win fights. You know, and the striking and short range she's good at. So is, you know, it's a tough fight. Amanda Ribas and Tabatha Ricci says tough fight. That's a tough one to call. What's up from Chile? What's up, Blanca? Appreciate you always saying what's up from Chile. That's awesome. Ebo a lock? Bro, how are you going to lock Ebo after that fucking performance? My man got on his back and he looked like he flipped over a tortoise. That was crazy. I don't want to bet against Davey. You don't have to. You don't have to bet against Davey, you know? Sometimes I feel that way. I'm like, man, you know, love whatever fighter, you know, and you're betting against them. You know, if you're just betting for fun, like, you know, you want to maybe, you know, consider avoiding some of those where you'll ruin it for yourself, right? Davey looks like a New York City fiend, huh? Ribas losses are actually the good fighters, not pillow strikers who run around the cage. Good enough for me. Leal via steroids, that's crazy work. Bryce via the truth about Adolf, that is wild. Type of guy you'd go fishing with, huh? Whoa, you guys are getting crazy on the Bryce stuff. The world is flat. The world is not flat. Right now. You ever been in an airplane? They have to adjust for the curvature of the earth. Okay? It's no cap. Look it up. Look it up. Okay? You got Starlink. Yeah, it's coming down from a satellite. Okay? And you could go, you know, you can go on a Blue Origin flight as a civilian. Ask Katy Perry. Right? And you can get up there and go look at the curvature of the earth. All right? We'll send you up there. You and Eddie Bravo. We'll send you up there. Pull up the fighter info card. Go to Tapology, dog. The pirate, he has staph infection. I hope not. Jesus Christ. That would, staph infection. Yeah. If you know for sure somebody's got staph infection, that's, it's an issue. Bobby Knuckles, good luck, Scott. You had Bo against RDR. Now you're picking RDR. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Absolutely. I mean, could you imagine if somebody just didn't learn from performances? Can you imagine? How stupid would you have to be to not believe in things based on evidence, right? How do you know if something's true? Think from first principles. What's most fundamentally true and work from there, right? Use the scientific method. Okay. You have a hypothesis, you try to prove it wrong. You try to find data against it, try to disprove it, right? Report your conclusions. And then believe in things based on evidence. Okay. So I saw evidence of Reinier de Ritter's weapons on the feet. Okay. Got you. Didn't really realize how dangerous he could be on the feet, right? Got it. Okay. Now I know. Now I see him against a former welterweight, Robert Whittaker, who, can knock people out, but not the most power. And on the ground, let's be honest, folded. So do his fucking teeth. Shout out to Dana for paying for the new teeth. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Always learning. What up, Blanca? Thank you. How can you compare Whittaker to Bo or GM3? I didn't. I honestly think Khabib could come back right now and submit Tom Aspinall. Cap. RDR sub is plus 300. Yeah, but RDR money line is like plus 140, plus what on 130? What is it? So why would you go sub? What if RDR gets to mount and just starts fucking raining elbows down? So, but yeah, I mean, RDR sub is my pick. Yeah. All right. I'm skipping a lot of you guys. Sorry. Wise, why you always capping like you know all these fighters? Who did I say I knew? Who did I say I knew on this entire show? I don't think I know anybody on this card. Do I? Oh, Buchecha. How is that cap? What do you mean? I was in the gym watching him train. You want me to pretend like I wasn't? Should I keep that to myself? Right? There's a cool Christopher Hitchens line that I'll butcher, but it's like, oh, do you want me to write a book void of any interesting people or things that I've done? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Not supposed to tell you that I've seen Marcus Buchecha. I mean, I could go farther. I feel like I didn't go far enough. I've watched Buchecha train, right? I saw him grappling with Fabricio Verdum with punches involved. Like, I have an idea of what he's like on the ground. I've also, watched him lose to Kane overseas and, watched his fights, of course, but it's also great to be in the gym. So I feel like I should tell you. That's why. Favorite dog money for tomorrow. You want to know who my favorite dog money for tomorrow is? DM at Mike Finch Show on Instagram. We'll get you in there. I gave out my favorite bets this week, and they are plentiful with dogs, okay? Lock of the night, which is on a streak right now, is a dog. And then go down. I gave out dog after dog play this week. I'm confident in them. I mean, that's where my big bets are this week. There's some real good dogs to touch. I also threw a parlay up on the free channel. You guys could go check that out. Link in description. But again, if you want to see my best bets, my favorite bets, the ones that I'm putting money on, DM at Mike Finch Show on Instagram. We'll get you into premium channel. I really, really genuinely wanted to drive to Las Vegas this week. There's a 1-year-old's birthday party tomorrow. You're like, Mike, fucking go in the morning that I want to go to. And then today, I fucking, my cousins are in from Hawaii, entertaining. You don't care. Main thing is I bet literally every single dollar I have in my, on the app I use. Okay. We'll leave that out. I'm not going to give them promo, but, I am confident this week. Okay. I definitely talked to people about potentially going to Vegas and throwing some money down today. But here I am hanging out with y'all. Is that okay? I went and taught a boxing class earlier. Is that all right with y'all? I'm very confident this week, guys. You know, always bet responsibly, right? When it comes to like how much you should bet, you've got to only bet what you're willing to lose, right? And don't bet at all if you're not feeling it. You got to make the choice at the end of the day. I never tell people who to bet on or how much to bet. I'll tell you who I'm betting on, and if you feel like tailing, you know, then run it. Then run it, you know? All right? Be responsible. Let's have some fucking fun. Abu Dhabi cards in the morning. Get your ass some coffee. Get your ass out of bed. Get in front of the TV, because I think we're in for some good fucking fist fights. And as usual, it's peace and love. See you guys after the fights for the recap.